Chosen one, the waiting is over. What you've been preparing for through countless seasons of growth, through every trial that tested your resolve, through every moment that demanded more faith than you thought you possessed, has finally arrived at your doorstep. This week isn't just another collection of days passing by. It represents a convergence point where everything you've been through meets everything you're about to become. Your elevation isn't some distant possibility you're still hoping for. The machinery of your transformation is already in motion, already reconfiguring your circumstances, already aligning forces you cannot see to work in your favor. Before we go deeper, I want you to participate in something powerful. Take a moment to write in the comments the desires that have been living in your heart, the aspirations you've protected through difficult times. Don't hold anything back. Release them into the atmosphere and mark them with 111, the number representing completion and perfect alignment with divine order. This act isn't just about leaving a comment. It's about declaring to the universe that you're ready to step into what's been prepared for you. Now, like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and let's journey together into understanding what's unfolding in your life right now. The elevation coming into your life won't follow a predictable single pattern. It manifests in dual form, and recognizing both expressions is essential. Sometimes your rise appears with undeniable force, sudden and dramatic. These are the moments when barriers that have stood for years crumble overnight. Opportunities that seemed reserved for others suddenly have your name on them. Resources that were nowhere to be found suddenly flow toward you from unexpected sources. This is the obvious face of elevation, impossible to miss or misinterpret. But elevation also wears a quieter face, one that's equally transformative but more subtle in its arrival. It shows up as unexpected calm in your mind, where storms used to rage. It appears as stability in your emotions, where turbulence used to dominate. It manifests as confidence in situations that previously triggered deep insecurity. Don't make the error of valuing the loud breakthroughs over the quiet ones. Both originate from the same source, both serve the same purpose, both deserve equal recognition. The small shifts, the minor adjustments in your perspective, the slight changes in how you respond to challenges, these seemingly small things are actually evidence that massive transformation is occurring at every level of your existence. Understanding what rising actually is will change how you experience it. This isn't about crossing a finish line and being done. It's not about reaching a plateau where everything becomes static and complete. Rising is a perpetual state of expansion, a continuous unfolding of greater versions of yourself. What ignites this week is the initial spark, but that spark doesn't burn out. It spreads. It touches one area of your life, which ignites transformation in another area, which creates change in yet another domain. Each victory becomes the platform for the next advance. Each breakthrough reveals doors you couldn't see from your previous vantage point. This cascading effect means you cannot constrain your expectations to what you currently imagine. Your present awareness, though it's grown tremendously, still operates within certain boundaries. The rise will carry you beyond those boundaries into spaces that will amaze you when you look back and recognize how far you've traveled from where you started. There's absolutely no ambiguity about when this is happening. Stop waiting for tomorrow. Stop postponing your acknowledgement of this reality until some future date when conditions seem more perfect. Stop delaying your full engagement until you feel you've achieved some imaginary level of complete readiness. The timeline is this moment. Right now, as you absorb these words, the rise is active. The forces orchestrating your elevation are already at work. Your only requirement is to recognize this truth and synchronize yourself with what's already in motion. The space you're entering demands unprecedented mental clarity and focus. Your mind functions as the command center of your entire reality, and what you permit to occupy that mental space directly shapes what manifests in your experience. This week calls for heightened selectivity about your mental environment. Every piece of content you consume, every conversation you engage, every thought pattern you entertain, these either accelerate your rise or create resistance against it. Pay special attention to your spoken words. The things you declare carry formative power during this season. How you describe yourself, how you characterize your situation, how you speak about your trajectory. These aren't just descriptions, they're creative acts. You're literally constructing your pathway through your declarations. Start speaking from where you're going rather than from where you've been. Describe yourself as someone who has already transitioned, because in the realm of energy and intention, you already have. There's a tempo to divine orchestration that operates on a different frequency than ordinary time. As this week unfolds, you might observe unusual phenomena with time itself. Certain days might feel condensed, with extraordinary significance compressed into brief periods. Other moments might feel elongated, with single insights or encounters carrying reverberations that last for extended periods. This signals your transition from chronological time into sacred time, those special moments when eternal purposes intersect with temporal reality. Your responsibility is to develop sensitivity to this rhythm and move in synchronization with it. When windows of opportunity open, step through immediately without overthinking. When you sense internal prompting towards specific action, follow it without demanding complete understanding first. Rising requires this responsive agility, a coordinated dance between your intention and divine orchestration. While your external circumstances will certainly transform as you rise, the most significant metamorphosis occurs in your interior world. You're going to experience yourself differently in ways that are difficult to articulate but impossible to deny. The version of you that waited anxiously for life to finally start is being replaced by someone who knows they're already living their purpose. You'll express yourself with greater clarity, not because you suddenly possess all answers, but because you've connected to a wellspring of wisdom that transcends mere knowledge. Your actions will carry more authority, not from ego-driven pride, but from genuine alignment with your authentic calling. This transformation isn't about developing superiority or arrogance. It's about finally inhabiting the identity that was always meant for you, occupying it naturally instead of apologizing for taking up that space. One of the clearest indicators that your rise is genuine is the unexpected lightness that appears around burdens you've carried for years. Other people's judgments, which previously penetrated your confidence and influenced your choices, begin losing their impact. You'll discover yourself investing less emotional energy in seeking approval from sources that don't truly comprehend your journey. The doubts that previously created mental paralysis start evaporating, not because you've suddenly achieved perfect certainty, but because you recognize doubt as mental noise rather than objective truth. Fears that imprisoned you in limited, safe territories lose their controlling influence over your decisions. You might even find yourself becoming genuinely uninterested in activities, discussions, or concerns that previously dominated significant portions of your attention. This isn't indifference or disconnection. It's your spirit naturally releasing what no longer contributes to your evolution, clearing space for what genuinely serves your advancement. This represents one of the more difficult realities of rising, yet it's completely unavoidable. The elevation you're experiencing creates natural distance between you and certain individuals. Not everyone in your current circle is equipped to accompany you to your next level. Some relationships were specifically designed for particular seasons, intended to support you in earlier phases, but not structured for the altitude you're approaching. This distancing isn't about cruelty, and it's not about judging anyone as inadequate. It's simply the organic result of two life paths moving in different directions. You'll observe varied responses from people in your world. Some will demonstrate authentic support, genuinely celebrating your evolution with pure joy. Others will expose discomfort, envy, or opposition they've kept hidden. Some will withdraw quietly, without articulation, unable to name their own reactions to your transformation. Your elevation creates a mirror that forces people to examine themselves, and not everyone welcomes that self-examination. The rise fundamentally changes where you source your sense of validity and worth. You stop requiring other people to verify that you're on the right track before you trust your direction. You stop needing constant external reassurance that you're making correct choices. The old pattern of seeking universal approval before moving forward simply doesn't fit your new reality. The previous version of yourself that needed consensus from everyone before taking action no longer resonates as authentic. You're cultivating an internal guidance system that's more trustworthy than any collection of external opinions. However long you've experienced the sensation of moving through obscurity, unable to discern clearly where your path leads, that cloudiness is dissipating. The road ahead is becoming visible to you. You won't perceive every curve, every detail of the entire journey, but you'll see sufficient clarity, sufficient to know your direction is sound, sufficient to take your next steps with assurance, sufficient to make choices without tormenting yourself with endless self-questioning. The season of aimless wandering without clear direction is concluding. You're transitioning onto firm ground, where each step feels secure, where you're advancing with intention rather than hoping you haven't lost your way. Vision carries obligation. Once you perceive what you're meant to pursue, you cannot reverse that knowing. Once you comprehend the path, you cannot claim ignorance as justification for inaction. This week, the decisions you make hold exceptional weight. They're not merely routine choices. They're foundational elements being positioned for what follows. Opportunities will emerge, and they'll demand courage to engage. Conversations will surface that require honesty, even when it creates discomfort. Spiritual promptings will arrive that require obedience, even when the reasoning isn't immediately apparent. These moments aren't random occurrences. They're construction materials for your rise. Handle them with the seriousness they warrant. Don't feel surprised or discouraged when obstacles appear. Their presence isn't evidence that you've chosen the wrong direction. It's confirmation that you're advancing. Old patterns, functioning like gravitational force, will attempt to pull you back toward familiar ground. Doubt will vocalize itself, citing times you attempted and failed. Fear will present documentation from your history, arguing that this occasion won't produce different results. These forces have a certain reality, but they're ultimately just shadows. They appear substantial, but they possess no genuine power beyond what you assign them. As you continue advancing toward illumination, those shadows naturally reduce and eventually vanish. The rise introduces a different category of questions you haven't previously needed to answer. Can you manage the responsibility of what you've been requesting? Are you equipped to operate in the level of authority that accompanies this elevation? Can you handle being perceived and engaged differently as you enter new spaces? Are you prepared for the expanded responsibility that comes with greater influence? These aren't hypothetical considerations. They demand genuine internal examination. Rising isn't merely receiving passive blessings, it's accepting active assignments. It's stepping into positions that will require more from you than your previous locations demanded. Review your journey with fresh perspective. Every rejection that wounded you was actually redirection from roots that would have constrained you. Every delay that created frustration was actually preparation, developing you into someone capable of managing what's approaching. Every unexpected redirect was actually a strategic route, guiding you precisely where you needed to arrive. The struggles you endured weren't meaningless suffering. They were critical preparation for this moment. There's profound irony in how your narrative unfolds. The segments of your history that generated shame will transform into your most compelling testimony. The seasons that others ridiculed will become proof of your perseverance. The experiences where you felt profoundly misunderstood will demonstrate your resilience. What seemed like destructive forces were actually constructive catalysts, essential components in your transformation. Those challenging seasons weren't divine punishment. They were purification processes. Each struggle removed something that didn't belong, excavated internal capacity for something greater to develop, constructed endurance in your character, and instructed you to access strength beyond your personal reserves. Without those refining experiences, you wouldn't possess the capacity for what you're entering now. Attention to quiet signals is essential. Thoughts that feel qualitatively different from your typical mental activity. An internal magnetism towards something you'd abandoned or forgotten. Immediate clarity regarding situations you can no longer tolerate or ignore. These subtle modifications are like the initial gentle wind that precedes major weather changes, signaling the larger movement approaching. Observe how your surroundings respond to your internal metamorphosis. People who previously dismissed you will begin acknowledging you. Barriers that appeared permanently fixed will start yielding. Conversations that felt utterly impossible will unexpectedly become accessible. The very atmosphere surrounding you shifts in direct response to the shift occurring within you. The most irrefutable proof appears in how you respond to situations that previously destabilized you. Circumstances that would have fundamentally shaken you now barely create ripples. Situations that held enormous influence over your emotional state now feel controllable, even insignificant. Your responses to life experiences have fundamentally transformed, and that transformation is unmistakable. Your rise isn't an isolated phenomenon occurring in a vacuum. It's interconnected with everyone whose existence intersects with yours. As you elevate, they experience the effects. Your courage transforms into their inspiration. Your strength provides them with support. Your breakthrough demonstrates to them that transformation is achievable. You're not rising exclusively for yourself. When you transform, everything within your influence transforms. This explains why the preparation period was so essential. The significance of this elevation extends beyond your individual life to impact everyone connected to your existence. The atmosphere you generate influences every environment you occupy. Everyone who knows you will observe this transformation. Those who questioned will see it unfold. Those who dismissed you will witness it. Those who supported you will celebrate it. Responses will range across the spectrum. Some inspired, some humbled, some awakened, some silenced, but none will possess the ability to deny what's manifesting. This elevation demands you carry yourself with new bearing. Don't compress yourself to accommodate spaces you've surpassed. Don't diminish your illumination to prevent others' discomfort. Don't apologize for stepping into what rightfully belongs to you. Stand with full stature, even when others aren't prepared to witness you at this height. Your rise doesn't require anyone's authorization or endorsement. It's confirmed by divine intention, and that confirmation cannot be nullified by human opinion. Not everyone will applaud you, and that reality is completely irrelevant to the truth of your elevation. Readiness isn't about external organization. It's about internal orientation. It's about moving through each day with anticipation of receiving, with awareness open to recognize opportunities, with a heart that affirms, "This is mine to claim." Believe it belongs to you, because it genuinely does. This week possesses a quality you cannot manufacture through personal effort alone. It holds divine timing that transcends your strategizing. You don't manufacture it, you enter into it. This week is fundamentally different from preceding ones. It carries movement, confirmation, and perfectly synchronized moments. Your years of preparation are now intersecting with heaven's schedule. You've waited, persevered, and developed through concealed seasons. Now the divine declaration states, the time has arrived. This isn't a minor step forward. It's a quantum advancement. What's approaching isn't basic survival or minimal progress, it's overflow. It's abundance corresponding to the faith you maintained when no one else held belief. This isn't a continuation of your previous narrative with minor enhancements. It's an entirely new narrative with different atmosphere, context, and conclusion. You're transitioning from uncertainty to certainty, from standing externally to walking internally, from observing to actively participating. You're not watching others rise anymore while waiting for your turn. You are rising. Your rise arrives in successive waves, not as a singular moment. One movement follows another, each one transporting you higher until you observe your surroundings and recognize you're no longer positioned where you were. The accumulation of these movements completely transforms your entire reality. This is your designated moment, not some future tomorrow, not when external conditions achieve perfection. Right now, in this present instant. This is your destiny materializing, undeniable and unstoppable. The future that appeared distant is positioned directly before you. Step into it with complete commitment, because this is your time, chosen one. Everything preceding this was preparation for this week. Your rise has initiated, and nothing possesses the power to prevent its complete manifestation. Every individual who entered your existence served a necessary and meaningful role in preparing you for this elevation. Every situation that presented challenges constructed something essential within your character. Every moment you questioned whether you could possibly continue actually strengthened your capacity to carry what's approaching now. You didn't recognize it during those moments, but you were being strategically positioned. You were being intentionally shaped. You were being made completely ready for something that required every single experience you've encountered. Now you stand at the threshold with the entrance opening wide before you. Not because you've achieved absolute perfection, but because your appointed time has arrived according to divine schedule. The universe doesn't demand perfection. it responds to readiness, and the trials you've endured have made you ready beyond question. Step forward with complete commitment and total resolve. Move ahead with absolute confidence, knowing you're exactly where you need to be positioned. This is your time, chosen one. Your rise has begun, and its momentum cannot be stopped or reversed. The world is preparing to witness what divine purpose always knew about you from the beginning. You were created for this exact moment, and this moment was created specifically for you. Walk into it boldly and courageously. Claim it fully without hesitation or doubt whatsoever. This is your week of transformation. This is your rise into destiny. This is your undeniable destiny becoming your visible, tangible reality that everyone will witness.